It all began in 1892. The equipment may look different, and the names change, but the rivalry remains the same. From its roots at Piedmont Park in Atlanta to Athens and Auburn, legendary coaches, college football's greatest players, magical moments etched in history, unleashing the emotions of the Deep South's oldest rivalry. It's Go Dogs. It's War Eagle. It's Georgia and Auburn for the 124th time. And with that, the Home Depot SEC on CBS brings us to Pat Dye Field, Jordan-Hare Stadium in Auburn, Alabama, where the Tigers, ranked 12th, host the 4th-ranked Georgia Bulldogs. Beautiful day, packed house in mid-November for a crucial game in the SEC. As you look at the SEC East, Florida kept their East hopes alive in the game you just saw. Georgia, with a win today, can punch their ticket to Atlanta to the SEC title game should they win. In the West, it's LSU's to lose. Alabama won a game and lost a quarterback. But boy, can Auburn make some noise about the college football playoff picture if they win today and continue to roll as they did a couple of years ago. Welcome, everybody. Brad Nussler with Gary Danielson. Jamie O'Donnell will join us shortly. Kind of that same feel, partner, from 2 years ago, a little bit.
I think the same. And it's not just Auburn in this game trying to spoil Georgia or Alabama in a couple weeks. It's the fact that they believe if they win, they can still get in the playoffs.
Well, you know, if you want 1,100 yards of offense and 87 points like we had last week with LSU and Alabama, you probably don't want to watch this.
It could literally be a game you wouldn't even have to watch the football and have a lot of fun watching this football game. Two of the best interior lines for Georgia. They're built right across that front. Andrew Thomas, Solomon Kinley, Trey Hill, Cade Mays, Isaiah Wilson. They are huge, the backbone of that Georgia football team. But this defensive line and the two stars, number 5, Derek Brown, number 3, Marlon Davidson, that is where the game will be won.
So close, these two old rivals, 59, 56, and 8. Georgia with a 3-game lead. It was horrible weather-wise Thursday and Friday in Auburn. Today, picture perfect. Georgia won the toss and deferred. So the Auburn Tigers will get the football first in front of their sellout crowd. Rodrigo Blankenship's got it teed up for the Dogs. And we're underway in the Plains. And Auburn will go to work at the 25-yard line. Let's take a look at the Chick-fil-A starting lineups. And it all starts with a quarterback. And for the first time in what seems like forever, Georgia is facing a starting quarterback. And he's the true freshman, Bo Nix. And he is sensational at home. Not so good on the road. We saw the 2 losses they had. The noise got to him, at Florida especially. But he's a very cool customer for his age. DJ Williams will start in the backfield. At tailback with Nix. And a quick throw out in the flat to Eli Stove. And Stove with a quick 14-yard pickup.
2 years ago in this game, Eli Stove had a big game on the ground, 4 carries for 55 yards. That was just like a rushing play.
So our first 3rd down of the day.
Interesting, though, the reputation of the hurry-up kept Georgia from putting in their fast nickel defense.
On 3rd and 6, Nix, the quick slant, and it's a first down.
That's it. That's what he has to do. Set your feet, let it go. You go watch Bo Nix in practice, you go, what does this guy not have?
Yeah.
And now let's see the Georgia defense if they can put pressure. 23 sacks Auburn's given up this year.
Auburn got their last 3rd down pickup. This one's 3rd down and 10. Nix wanted to throw the slant, now scrambles to try to find a receiver. Found one short of the first down is Seth Williams by about 3 yards.
I think they're going to go for it here, though. Let's just see if they get a quick snap for Auburn, because they have Georgia substituting, but they don't, even at a near hash.
And now Auburn changes its personnel. Georgia again with some massive changes coming from the sideline. 4th down and 3.
Once Auburn substituted, though, the official allowed Georgia to substitute.
Georgia thinking about a blitz. And now all kinds of...
First charge time out of the half, Georgia.
Everybody a little confused there. Trying to match wits. We get a timeout. 48 is his long this year, Anders Carlson. This one's going to be from about 47.
Yeah, when everything was mumble-jumble, that's kind of their offense, keeping Georgia off balance with the speed and tempo. But now he said, second look here, let's go field goal attempt.
So on the 10th play of the drive, Anders Carlson from 47. And it is wide right. Georgia still hasn't allowed an opening possession score. Georgia will take over after the missed field goal.
Interesting, I was out there at practice Thursday and noticed that they line up their kicker 8 yards back, and I asked Carlson why, and he said penetration up the middle, and they got penetration up the middle.
Georgia 47% on their 3rd downs.
And this is where Kevin Steele, coordinator for Auburn, brings in his 6 defensive backs. He used 7 of them against LSU, but Georgia only deserves 6. They're passing down.
We expect Georgia's first pass of the ball game from Jake Fromm. Has time, plenty of it, and had to come back to his check down, and it's DeAndre Swift who lost about 3.
That's the game plan. Auburn uses a 3-man line. They get a 4th rusher when they bring Papo number 10, a linebacker type, to get their 4th player coming in. But man-to-man, they're going to play man-to-man all day against the receivers from Georgia.
So the first punt from Jake Camarda with Christian Tutt waiting back on the other end.
Beauty.
Tutt looks up in the sun and lets it sail. It bounces inside the 10. Can Georgia get to it? Yes, they can. At about the 2-yard line.
Didn't even need to get to it. It stopped right there.
The long snapper got down there to down it after a 67-yard punt from Jake Camarda. The Bulldogs have Auburn buried near their own goal line for their second offensive set when we come back. It's going to need it from the 2-yard line, Jamie. In his own end zone to throw. The slant is complete, and just like that to Seth Williams, who's got him out of trouble.
How about that? Didn't notice that Tyson Campbell is suffering all year with that turf toe. He's in the game starting for DJ Daniel. Daniel's been the starter lately. Now then the nickel set, but that means Stokes and Campbell are the 2 corners, starting corners.
Will Hastings in motion across the field. Georgia jumps and gets back.
I'm surprised that Auburn didn't move there. They could have got an easy 5 yards by just reacting to that play, one of the offensive linemen.
Yeah, I would imagine Jack Driscoll would have dropped, but instead the throw on the crossing route, and this one is going nowhere, courtesy of Richard LeCount, who tackled him twice. Actually didn't get him down the first time. 4th down.
Hope that his team learned a lesson in that trip here 2 years ago.
Brian Herring in the backfield for Georgia on a 2nd down and 4, gets the call and gets the first down. I've said this before, but you get so wrapped up in DeAndre Swift and company, you forget how really good Brian Herring is.
Yeah, and these 2nd and short is something you feel good about trying to make, but I tell you, 2 years, just the difference in home fields. Last year, Georgia rushed for 303 yards.
Yep.
2 years ago here, they rushed for 46. And by the way, they had Nick Chubb, Sony Michel, and DeAndre Swift for 46 yards.
Yeah. Elijah Holyfield was just standing on the sideline.
Yes.
On 1st down, Fromm gonna go deep. Got a man out there and got him. Dominique Blaylock, touchdown. On the score.
How aggressive would they allow Jake to be? Well, we've got our answer. Again, here's Blaylock. Here's the coverage right there. Playing off. Outside technique. Poor technique. No safety in the middle of the field. He just runs right by Tut. And inside those big guys we talked about, can they hold it and give them time? Look at that. 3 or 4 yards of space to stop up and throw the ball.
Rodrigo Blankenship's 187th consecutive extra point is good. And Georgia strikes in a hurry. 61 yards in 3 plays. The big one, Jake Fromm's 14th touchdown pass of the year to Dominique Blaylock, and it's 7-0 Dogs. Jake Fromm moving up the charts. Got a way to go. Nobody's going to catch Aaron Murray, I don't think, our comrade here at CBS. But Jake now with 68 touchdown passes, just past Eric Zier, who's over in the Georgia radio booth on the all-time list. In the Auburn backfield on 2nd and 7. They give it to Boobie now, and end around to Schwartz. Doesn't matter if you got all that speed if you get bottled up like that, and Georgia had that one sniffed out.
I'll tell you, Nolan Smith, there's a thing called setting the edge. Okay, watch what Smith does here. You want to know what setting the edge means? Back in the old days, don't let him run around you, is what setting the edge is, and that's what Nolan Smith did, the true freshman future superstar for Georgia.
And with him setting the edge, Malik Herring is the guy that cleaned up to make the tackle and force a 3rd and 15 back at the 20. Quick throw out in the flat to Whitlow. He slips a little bit. Got back across the original line of scrimmage, and that's it. 4th down and punting situation for the Tigers.
I tell you, Richard LeCount comes up and blows up this play before it can get started. Watch LeCount, the safety. Once he reads it, it's a screen. He hits it. 4.4, 4.3 speed, and that allows the pursuit to come in and make the tackle.
They look a little confused, to be honest with you. 2nd down and 6. Just got the snap off. DeAndre Swift got a 1st down. Out across the 35 to the 37. Georgia with a 1st down at the 37-yard line. Play fake to Herring. Fromm sets up, going to go deep again. Just overshot Lawrence Cager. Pretty good coverage by Jars Davis back there.
I don't want to say Lawrence Cager is a possession receiver, because that's not fair. But he's not a speedster. He's more of a route runner. He's a great back shoulder catcher of the ball, but he's not going to run away from a corner. Very tough for him to get deep. You almost have to scheme him deep.
He got a little bit of a grab on his elbow there at the end of the route.
I don't think he had a chance for that one.
No, I don't either. Second and 10. From across the middle, incomplete, intended for Matt Landers that time. It'll bring up 3rd and long.
What a...
Since the South Carolina game, when he had 3 interceptions, Jake's been pretty steady. Of course, you can throw that Kentucky thing out. It was a monsoon.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Crowd getting into it.
Here it is, that front 3 with the help of the extra rusher right here, coming in an angle. Where do they put pressure?
Fromm throws the out, got it complete. Pickens has to fight for the 1st down, and he got it. Pickens was about a yard shy, and he wheeled around and picked it up.
Well, this offensive line is only allowed 5 sacks, number 2 in the country. You know who's number 1 in the country? Air Force, and they don't throw.
Play action, Fromm to throw again, and this one's no man's land. Cager was the closest guy. I think Marlon Davidson might have got a hand on that.
Just think about that. For this type of a team, only giving up 5 sacks all year. Now, that's part Jake Fromm, but that's also part of that offensive line that we saw up close against Florida. They held their own that day. There was no outside rush. The 2 defensive ends could not make a difference for Florida, and that's the game they were most impressive, as you ask me.
And so far, they're off to a pretty good start in this quarter against this group. Marlon Davidson standing up to rush this time, and Brian Herring
Guess
stuffed
who?
for a 3-yard loss.
Guess who's on the bottom of that tackle? It's got the ankles this time. I think it's number 5. That's who I'd go with. They were funny, those two guys.
Boy, they were something together.
They could go on TV, yes.
3rd down and 12. From pressure this time, he's going to go down, and it's Marlon Davidson.
There's his buddy.
As Marlon said, Marlon's going to do what he do, and he just got the sack on Jake Fromm.
What'd he say? Marlon's going to do what he do, right?
That's his 6.5 sack of the season, doing what he do right there.
And he went over a big man, Andrew Thomas, right there. And I believe him. He said, I'm pretty athletic off that edge, and he showed it.
So it forces a Georgia punt. Jake Camarda had a career long the last time he kicked one and dropped it down at the 2-yard line, a 67-yarder.
You try to think about what is Auburn trying to establish here. You know, they've thrown 11 passes already in the game. Do they think they can't run the ball? Because right now it's slants and nothing.
Georgia's number 1 in the SEC in run defense. They give up about 4 yards there to bring the first quarter to a close. Jordan Davis on the tackle on Boobie Whitlow. So it played 15 on the Plains at Jordan-Hare Stadium at the end of the first quarter with a score. Georgia Bulldogs 7, Auburn Tigers nothing. We'll return to Auburn after this message and a word from your local station. What's the identity for Auburn right now?
I don't know, but I think their identity has to be, Ness, they're going to have to get some help running the ball. We've seen this Georgia team twice live. Against Notre Dame, Ian Book, his help, 46 yards rushing in that game. Kyle Trask had a good game, 21 yards rushing. Eventually, it was too much for either quarterback. I think that's what Auburn, I don't think they can win if they can't run the ball.
And that's kind of what Missouri went through last week against Georgia. They had 24 carries for only 50 yards. So running against the Georgia defense hasn't been easy for anybody.
And I wonder if Auburn can run the ball without running their quarterback. Design runs within the offense.
7-0 Georgia in the. Oh, what a spin move by DeAndre Swift. Wow.
Yep. He had a game last year. Papo had a chance for him, number 10, right there coming off the edge. We saw Clyde Edwards-Helaire do that last week for a touchdown, but that's what this guy Swift can give you.
He had a career-high 186 on 17 carries last year in this matchup. They fake it to him here, and Fromm comes up throwing.
Good coverage.
In and out of the hands of Kyrus Jackson. Fromm sets him up at the 45-yard line. Draw play to Swift. Trying to bounce it outside. DeAndre Swift. Good run. Ball out. And it goes out of bounds, luckily for Georgia. They're going to get a first down out of it.
I'll tell you, Solomon Kinley that time, the onside guard, meaning the guard to the area, comes out and throws a great block on the play, but that ball was fumbled. His knee was not down, and fortunate for Georgia, it goes out of bounds.
There you see it flying to the sideline.
They're going to move it back.
They'll bring it back to the 49-yard line where it's 3rd down.
They moved it back to the spot of the fumble. I'm a little confused. Maybe Gene can help us why it goes back.
Meantime, Jake Fromm rolls to throw. And nobody out there. Gene's territories are rules official, Gene.
Or do you just try to see if you can run the ball and help your quarterback? Interesting dilemma for Gus. No.
Fake slants and lose a yard.
Yeah, they run it right up the middle, and they run it right into Tyler Clark.
Auburn's last 2 drives, 3 plays 1 yard, 3 plays 5 yards. Now they have 1 play for minus 1 yard on that one. 2nd down and 11 from the 19. Nix looking to throw all the way, and there it is again. Seth Williams
Well, that's all you got. That's all you got, right?
I guess. At least it's working a little bit.
It is. I don't think you can win a game on a slant pass, but that's all they got right now.
Now the pitch on the run to Whitlow. Wow, second effort by Boobie Whitlow gets the first down.
What a play, because Tay Crowder had that thing defended that time. Crowder comes off the edge and then forces it back inside, and then a cut up just at the last second.
Got it to the 30. That's what they needed.
Because Crowder had that thing sniffed out. Boobie makes a good cut and for the first down.
4 wideouts for Knicks here on first down. They'll run it with Whitlow. And another good run by Whitlow. Almost got to the first down marker. Picked up about 8. 7-0 here, Georgia in front.
Well, remember that last injury to Devontae here. He goes down, his right leg kind of whips into the ground here. But let's show you a different angle. He gets up, he looks over and bang, he goes down. He looks over to the bench. Now, are you buying door number 1 or door number 2?
I'm not getting involved. Second down in the yard. Schwartz with a first down.
Georgia is ready for this hurry up. They faced it, Kirby, for years. Faced it as the defensive coordinator for Alabama. They're used to Gus's, the matchup. Kirby's defense against Gus's offense. They are ready for each other.
First down for Auburn. Knicks almost looked to the sideline and didn't see the snap, and now he's going to go deep for Schwartz. And in out of his hands, Daniel got a hand in there at the last moment.
Well, if you saw last week's game when LSU stole the touchdown against Alabama did, Auburn did the same thing. They looked to the sideline and quick snapped it and tried to get Schwartz deep. Remember the Alabama play, they tried to steal one and actually got a touchdown against Derek Stingley on the end, Devontae Smith. Same play. They looked to the sideline and quick snap it. Almost got it.
So third down at 3 here at the 10-minute mark of the second quarter.
They got 8 men in the box. There's the count this time.
And it's a direct snap to Whitlow, and he's not going to get there. Got about a yard. Jatavius Whitlow, affectionately known as Boobie around here. His timeline this year, first 6 games was rolling pretty good. Then the knee problem. Played 4 snaps against LSU, just out of the Wildcat as he was there. And now back to full health.
This will be the quick huddle, the sugar huddle. The receivers will go quickly, and then the line will go after them.
Fourth down and 2. It's Whitlow again. Direct snap coming. And hesitates. Tries to cut back. There's nowhere to hide. Dropped by David Marshall.
Well, he was eventually dropped by David Marshall, you're right, but it was stopped dead on up front. That defensive line for Georgia took it on, and there were players all over. It could have been, Ajari could have had the tackle. This was defended, scouted, and stopped. I'm going to give it a tough look for this Auburn defense.
They're going to throw it out in the flat the other way. Blaylock, and he might have gotten back to the line of scrimmage, but well played by Daniel Thomas, one of the captains back there at safety. From fires in and out of the hands of Dominic Blaylock. Would have been a first down, but a nice play by Javaris Davis.
Absolutely. That's a second great man-to-man coverage play that Davis has made in this game.
Here's the possessions for Auburn. They missed that 47-yard field goal, and then it's been punting for the most part.
And it looked like Devontae Smith's fine, number 95 back in the game.
Ojulari and Clark combined to bring Bo Nix down.
Devontae Wyatt, number 95 back in the football game. Trying to find a way to get some rushing yards, and Mr. Clark comes in there and does a good job.
Tyler Clark's had a heck of a first half. Senior out of Americus, Georgia. It's funny, look at the defensive fronts for these two teams, and 75% of their defensive linemen are natives of the state of Georgia. Third down and 8. Nick's in trouble, has has to unload it from his own end zone.
Surprised he double pumped it. I do not know why he did not let it go. Adam Anderson, number 19, is in his face as he lets it go. A little stunt from the inside. Adams is out there. Anderson's out there. And the double pump is really throwing him off. And now Georgia's going to get field position again. They've had it at the 39, 29, 26, 35, and 50. And they most likely will end up with the 50-yard line again. Georgia's had one play, great field position all game.
Zippos with that sidewind and kick. Blaylock, tough catch, but a good one at the 38. And gets about 4 yards, but there's a flag.
And a penalty, too. Field position we were guessing would be around the 50 could really be moved back to around the 30.
John McDade, our referee. Haven't had a lot of penalties today between two teams that come in with quite a few penalties.
During the return, personal foul, illegal blindside block with targeting on number 6 of the return team. There's a 15-yard penalty from the end of the return. Correction, 15-yard penalty for the spot of the foul. This play is now under video review.
Number 6 would be Otis Reese for Georgia. There he is right in the middle of the screen. Definitely blindside and definitely targeting. Yeah.
After video review, the ruling on the field of targeting is confirmed. Number 6 is disqualified for the remainder of the game.
That's the end of the day
for Eugene.
Otis Reese.
Otis Reese is not in the first line of rotation in the secondary, too deep in safeties, but a special teamer.
Wow, there's the man. Yeah, that's a tough one. That's definitely time to go to the locker room.
And again, look at this ball. It's 25 yards back farther than where we speculated Georgia might get the ball.
So they work offensively after the penalty at the 25-yard line with 6 minutes to go in the half.
And it's really their worst starting field position of the game at the 25.
2nd and 7 from under center this time. Play action. That one wobbled out of the hand unless that was hit by somebody. Had to be. Derek Brown, maybe?
He stands up and gives it the no, like a DB does, when he stops him. Derek Brown right in the middle. Gets in there and gets a hand on it. Yep. Match up against Kinley. That's man against man there, and he gets the left paw. Derek Brown, one of the big-time recruits that Georgia thought they were going to get, playing for Auburn years ago.
And the captain's out of Sugar Hill, Georgia. And the crowd is wound right now on 3rd down and 7. From lets it fly, incomplete, intended for Charlie Warner, the tight end.
You really can't blame Jake Fromm. His clock in that pocket, it has to be get the ball, take a look, get rid of it. Even if it's good protection, you cannot count on that. And again, what you're seeing is what you're going to get. You watch a Missouri tape last week. Missouri played man-to-man the whole game, just like this.
2nd straight 3 and out now. Camarda the punt.
Camarda's having a game.
He is. Christian Tutt has to backpedal back to the 13 or 14-yard line. So Camarda, another nice punt for Georgia at every position. Whitlow back in the Auburn backfield. Nix to throw down the middle. Got it. Seth Williams on the run. Williams with a stiff arm. Out to the 45-yard line. It was one of their biggest plays.
Well, same strategy.
2nd and 10. Seth Williams having a good first half with 7 catches. Nix getting pressured. Ojolari tried to get him, and now Nix is going to keep it and get what he can, run out of bounds. Seth Williams has been the #1 target for Bo Nix today so far. Third and 9. Nix fires complete to Schwartz, and it's good for a first down.
The speed route from their slot receiver. He's got it off. Inside technique. Throws it to the outside of Schwartz. Puts up both hands and gets the first down.
At the 44. Now they go quickly, and it's Nix on the keeper. He lost the ball. Might be Georgia. Nix had a second chance at it, but I think it slipped away. Jermaine Johnson might be on the bottom of that pile. Richard LeCount's down there, and LeCount's got the ball. Johnson's the guy that caused it. LeCount covered it.
Run the quarterback would have been successful, but just the reach out just enough by Johnson to poke that ball loose right on the football, and that popped it out. I do not like quarterbacks carrying their ball in the non-dominant hand. They do not practice it. We saw it last week with Tua. He had it in his right arm. I think when you're a right-handed player, as a passer, keep it in your right hand. You don't practice running the ball with your non-dominant hand.
Well, that just squashed an impressive march for Auburn, finally getting something going on offense, and it's a turnover.
And plus, now Georgia gets the ball to start the second half. This could be the dreaded 2-for-1. You get it more than one score, you start to feel good.
Now, you were talking about what do you do with Bo Nix when you got a guy that is in his 38th straight start at quarterback. Unleash Jake Fromm. You got him.
Oh, yeah, you trust Jake Fromm. There's no doubt about that.
3rd and 5, it'll be Jake all by his lonesome in the Georgia backfield. Fromm throws, almost picked off. Nice play by Javaris Davis.
Wow, number 3 for 13. Javaris Davis does a wonderful, he takes the chance. He undercuts the throw. Get in there, get it, and go for it. He didn't worry about the tackle. He had a running back, by the way. At time he felt confident having Harrion instead of a wide receiver. He didn't take a half step back. I actually thought Swift on the other side had a better matchup. I'm surprised that on that play Fromm went with that matchup. That was not a good matchup. Well, Gonzalez is in that spot he was last time when we ran the quick out to the sideline, but next time it's an outside technique instead of an inside technique by Webb.
3rd and 10 from the 29. Nix, quick throw, too high. Is it picked off by Daniel?
I think it skipped.
And it did, but Georgia gets the stop.
Yeah, that's the disaster play for your Auburn right there. You make a mistake down this side of the field, this game could go to 14 easily. Overthrow and skips off the ground.
Yep, one hopper. Or he hasn't gotten himself in space on the ground game. He'll try here. And got almost 5. Marlon Davidson on the tackle, big number 3. It's funny to watch that defensive front. Davidson, number 3, and Brown, number 5, and Big Cat Bryant, number 1. All those 300-pounders wearing single digits. 1:12 remaining first half. Georgia 7-0.
I would have just let Georgia do what they want. This could turn into something bad.
Here's a pitch. DeAndre Swift. Swift into the secondary this time, out to the 40.
I think it's too much of a gamble. A field goal is so big in this part of the game, I would have let Georgia make the decision. I didn't want to stop the clock if I'm Auburn.
DeAndre Swift's best run of the day, 16-yard pickup to the 40. And now Fromm looking to throw and hit the knee, I think, of his intended receiver, Kyrus Jackson.
And penalty. It's going to be pass interference.
On McCreary?
Yep. Got his jersey, yes, easy call.
Pass interference, number 23, the defense. The penalty places this ball at the spot of the foul with automatic first down.
Here's the gamble that Gus made. He thought he could get a 3 and out again. Okay, so now he gives Georgia, with time to go still in this game, a minute and 2 timeouts.
And
they can run anything they want.
And a pretty good kicker.
Yes.
1 minute remaining in the half. Dogs from their own 47. Fromm throws complete Out of bounds, Kyrus Jackson. Same guy, same target, this time a catch.
Well, Kyrus Jackson was injured earlier with a hand injury, has come back now, and they seem to have found a matchup they like over there with McCreary. Short side of the field, he plays boundary corner, that's where he lines up. They're going away from number 13, Davis, they're going at McCreary.
Draw play, DeAndre Swift. DeAndre Swift is Swift, and almost took it.
There's his patented move, too. When he breaks the line of scrimmage, he aggressively goes to his right and then plants that foot and cuts. He's as good as there is at it. Boom, right there. Barely touched.
Georgia in the red zone now, knocking on the door after a 26-yard carry by Swift. From out wide side completes Demetrius Robertson.
Well, just think, if Gus had not taken a timeout, there still could be, 8-10 seconds. Now there's plenty of time. He's not in the game.
Second down and 4 at the 8. Brian Harrion with Fromm in the Georgia backfield.
They can run the ball here. 2 timeouts left.
Demetrius Robertson in motion. Fromm going to throw it to Harrion on the corner. Close to a first down. I don't think he got it, though.
This whole drive, except for the Swift run right up the middle, the whole drive had been into the short side of the field. They've gone from the left hash all the way down the field.
We got somebody hurt on the sideline, and that's not a good sign, as Harrion was knocked out of bounds. And so we sort of hold our breath for a different reason.
Yeah, Marlin's going, I'm back in the game. I think KJ Britt was the guy who was over there on the tackle. I wonder if he's the one that got injured on the play. Number 33 right here.
No, it's a person on the sideline.
I got you, sorry.
And
Britt gets up, he's fine. Harrion's fine.
And the person that Harrion ran into is not.
It's not.
Fine. Meanwhile, it's 3rd down and 1.
Looks like a guy taking a picture with his camera right here is the one who he runs into right over.
I think it's a young lady,
is it?
In fact. But, well, we can't speculate. There's too many people around right now. But you can see the look on the fans' faces as a lot of concern. Let's bring in Jamie. And now the Auburn players are trying to get the fans back into it with them backed up to their own 5-yard line, and we'll find out if we can find out anything further. Obviously, we will let you know. Jamie might have a little bit more right now.
Guys, this young woman is a Georgia student photographer who came from Athens, so she's got a bruise on her right eye as she's getting wheeled out of the stadium. We'll try to find out where they're going to send her.
Meanwhile, back to the 5-yard line, 3rd down and 1. Georgia now shifts and puts Wolf in the backfield with Harrion. Fromm under center. Play fake. Fromm's going to loft it to Harrion. Brian Harrion. Touchdown, Georgia. Five-yard scoring toss, and Georgia does get a touchdown before halftime.
Well, Auburn stopped them once, but then they got the ball back too quickly. Gus Malzahn calls a timeout, and that timeout allows Georgia to do whatever they want. They could throw the ball short, they could run the ball, and it was too much for this defense, and that changes a lot.
So Brian Harrion, who on the previous play injured a photographer, and I'm sure he felt terrible. He's feeling a little better right now. 14-0 Georgia. Less than a minute, Gary, to go. 81 yards in 7 plays, and you see the smile on Brian Harrion. His first receiving touchdown of the year has given Georgia a 2-touchdown lead.
Everything was to the short side of the field. Everything went to the matchup they wanted. They wanted to go against Roger McCreary, but the 2 plays, the pitch play to Swift and then the long run up the middle to Swift, I thought were the key plays of the drive.
Jake Fromm, only 9 out of 18 for 91 yards, but 2 of them are touchdowns. One a 51-yarder and one a 5-yarder a moment ago. And Igbenogany will just watch Blankenship's kickoff go out the back of the end zone. 20 seconds in the half. And a draw play to DJ Williams. Williams goes for about 5. And that will be it for the first half.
Second down 5.
A frustrated fan base, I'm sure, a little bit right now. Going to head to the locker room trailing 4th-ranked Georgia by 2 touchdowns. Jake Fromm, 2 scoring tosses through 2 quarters. And Kirby Smart's defense has done a remarkable job again through a half of play. Their top rusher at halftime is their quarterback with 20 yards. That's not going to do it against a Georgia defense that's number 1 in the conference against the run. End of the first half, 14-0. The Dogs out in front as we head to Adam Zucker and the guys in our New York studio. Zuck. Just about set to start the 3rd quarter here in Auburn, Alabama, with Georgia leading the Tigers 14-0. Before we talk about football, more importantly, let's check in with Jamie on the young lady that was injured late in the 2nd quarter.
Yeah, Brad, she is Chamberlain Smith. She was taken to East Alabama Medical Center just up the road in Opelika, Alabama. As you saw, she was awake. She had a bruise on that right eye as she was taken immediately to the hospital. One of her colleagues went with her. She is an intern for the Georgia Athletic Department working with sports communications. I just spoke with head coach Kirby Smart, checked with him about Brian Harrion as he was the player that made contact with her. He was pretty upset in the locker room. He got together with Jake Fromm and they said a little prayer for her, as we all do, I'm sure.
Exactly. Well, Chamberlain, we know you're not watching this, but we sure hope you're okay. And back to football, a half to go here and a half for Auburn to try to get something in
They're
gear.
not used to it. Things happen fast on that sideline.
No doubt about it. So Georgia to get the ball first, and the aforementioned Brian Harrion, one of the guys back for the Dogs. And he'll let this one go in the corner of the end zone. They'll bring it out to the 25-yard line. Welcome back to the booth. Front group averages 6'5", 328.
And it gets to be 3rd and manageable.
Auburn defense would love a stop to open the 3rd quarter.
In modern college football, DeAndre Swift is going to be the widest guy on the field now.
3rd and 4. Fromm looking the other way. The throw is knocked away by Roger McCreary. They picked on him a couple of times, but that time he was equal to the task.
You really can't blame him for going back there, right? You got to say, let's see if you can stop it. It's got D. Robertson, holds him a bit, but makes the play.
Might have got a little face mask.
Well, I thought he grabbed his arm a little bit, but he got away with it.
Gonna go deep. Got a man out there and got him. Dominique Blaylock.
In the pocket he goes down. Marlon Davidson. 4, 3, 2, 1. Pylon. Touchdown!
Oldest rivalry in the Deep South. Auburn, I said going to the break, has not had good field position today. This is their best starting field position at the 35-yard line.
When are they going to throw a deep ball in this game? Are they going to throw one 30, 40 yards and try to get a jump ball or something?
Nix throws the slant again. That's been their bread and butter, and Seth Williams has been the guy that he's thrown most of them to.
That's been their bread, butter, dessert, coffee.
Those 2 last things are yours. Coffee and dessert. 3rd and 1. Nix going to throw on the run to Schwartz, and he got just enough.
And you're saying, you know, the more you watch this Georgia defense, the more you say, boy, what don't they do well?
Yeah.
I mean, they tackle well, they pursue, they're tough up the middle, they play 9 defensive inside tackles, nose tackles, they stay fresh. Man, they are a solid defense.
First down at the 46. Williams straight up the middle. And again, he's carrying Monty Rice with him. DJ Williams getting a little warmed up, the freshman.
Whoever they play is going to be a tussle with this defense. They run too well.
2nd and 3, number 3 for the first down, DJ Williams.
So now they're back in that territory when Bo Nix had the fumble. Maybe the key play for Auburn's offense in the first half.
Quick wide-out screen to Williams. Boy, Georgia's all over it.
It wasn't accurate enough. By the time he jumped for it, by the time he came down, DJ Daniel made the play. When you're going to run that wide receiver screen on short yardage, you have to hit it so he's running. And he did not. The jump slowed him down and allowed DJ to make the tackle.
DJ Daniel, 4.4 closing speed there. It didn't take long for him to get out and make the tackle. And then J.R. Reed and Zach Cannella got a little bit tangled up there. And it's 4th down, and they're going to have to kick.
Yeah, the loss of yardage there made the decision easy.
Siposs with the boots. And this one's going out inside the 5. Nice kick at the 2-yard line. So earlier it was Camarda that did it to Auburn at the 2. Auburn returns the favor with Georgia offensively in a hole when we come back. Marion stays in there. DeAndre stays on the sideline. 3 wideouts, including George Pickens. It's Herring again, though, and they are playing it conservatively. No gain. Might have gotten a half yard out of it. And again, Marlon Davidson in that big front. Derek Brown saying, not this time at least.
I don't know how you can play so hard against all those big guys and have a smile on your face the whole game.
He played off 2 blockers, maybe 3, and made the tackle.
And come up smiling. I just always think back to Alabama and A.J. McCarron from this end zone throwing 2013, I think, throwing a 99-yard touchdown pass in this game.
Jake Fromm in the gun, standing at his own goal line. 3rd down and 7. Fromm rolling right. Has to throw it before he wants to, and it's incomplete. And Jake hit the deck, too, at the end of the play. Chandler Wooten got there. And now Camarda really does have to have a good push.
He does. And this is defended well. Jake tries to come outside. Almost a double slip down that time by Blaylock.
And now Camarda is standing almost at his own end line. Handles the snap well.
Great punt. Outside the numbers again.
Tuck's got a chance to return this, though, from the 36. And Georgia's coverage is pretty good.
Sure was.
Channing Tyndall made the stop. So Auburn's got good field position to work again. Can their offense get something going? Well, we'll stay right here for a second. We had a flag down. Right about where he caught the football. Our side judge's hat is somewhere else, so he planted that for a reason as well.
Yes, one of the Georgia players went out of bounds on the play, trying to cover
After
the punt.
the play was over, personal foul and unnecessary roughness. Number 87 of the kicking team. This is a 15-yard penalty. 1st down. Timeout.
Tyler Simmons. So the field position went from good to great for Auburn. Midway point, 3rd quarter. Auburn will have a great spot to start from when we come back. Tyler Simmons is sometimes starting wide receiver on the special teams, is the guy that was penalized.
Here's where the frustration happens. Jordan Peters blocks him out of bounds. That's why the official takes his hat off. So Tyler gets frustrated and ends up turning around at the end of the play right here and taking off his frustration right at the end with one final punch.
Simmons came in.
So Tyler Simmons, one of 5 penalties against Georgia today, all on special teams. Can you believe that?
Well, no, to tell you the truth. Until you said it. Well, you know what? They started the ball they punted from the 39, and they got it back at the 43. That's a pretty good exchange.
Sure is. Schwartz in motion, they fake it to him. Nick's finally going to throw deep, and Williams is out of bounds.
Yeah, you got to keep it on the field. And that's your ball to Seth Williams, where most of the time it's a 50-50 ball. Seth Williams is the guy that caught the pass against Oregon.
Yep.
But you got to give him a chance to catch it inbounds.
And it was pretty good coverage by Eric Stokes anyway, right there with him. And Bo knows.
Yeah, Bo knows, but in that situation, you keep it on the field, I don't even think it's 50-50. It's, 70-30 advantage offense.
DJ Williams back in the Auburn backfield. He's had some nice runs so far today. 2nd and 10 here from the 43. And now they're going back the other way to Williams, incomplete. And Tyson Campbell covering. Fans booing, wanting an interference on Tyson Campbell.
In phase. I didn't see much, I gotta be honest. He didn't grab him, he had his hands on him.
A little hand fighting.
Yes, but did not turn him.
3rd and 10. Is Auburn going to waste the good field position if they don't pick up a first down here? Here comes the pressure. Nick felt it. And from behind, he goes down. The man that brought the heat stayed with it. Tyreek Stevenson.
Tyreek Stevenson is one of those hybrid nickel players that comes in. Comes from the secondary, he blitz. As Ness said, he saw him first, and he avoids him. He said he feels him, but he doesn't feel him the second time, does he? He's very fortunate he didn't fumble the ball.
That is some stick-to-itiveness right there for number 7. And it'll force a punt.
He's one of those guys where you look at the nickel package, you go, okay, where does 7 play? It's like, there's 11 guys that come in different situations that aren't starters.
Zip-Oz punt. High hanger. Lets it go, fakes the catch, and it goes out of bounds around the 12 or 13-yard line on the far side. He doesn't like that one as good as his previous attempts. Love it when somebody comes up with a big play on defense. The Dogs did there.
Well, coaching trees always connect players and coaches as they move through the ranks. Well, there's a connection between Bo Nix and Jake Fromm, and it goes all the way up to Bo Nix's grandfather, Conrad. He coached Jake Fromm's high school coach, and they worked together. And I went to speak with this gentleman before the game. I said, what is it that these two have that brings them together? He said they both have that it factor, and I know we see that when we meet with them.
And they've gotten together a few times, just throw the football in the backyard. DeAndre Swift for the first down run.
Yeah. 2 plays for a first down. Trying to keep the good field position in here. You're trying to keep this in position so your offense can get back in the game. Derek Brown taking this, at least the start of this series, off to get him some rest.
And he's at 98, so almost 100 for Swift. On top of that 1,000 for the season. Harrian's in there in his spot right now. 2nd down and 9. And there's Brian Harrian trying to get it wide. Davidson trying to track him down and can't. Well, he'll make the tackle, but not before he got to the 40-yard line.
Got to give him all the credit in the world. Yes, it is.
And exactly what's shaken up.
And that's how I broke my ankle, with a horse collar. Somebody
personal foul.
Pull you back. They
legal horse collar tackle of number 3 of the defense. This is a 15-yard penalty enforced from the end of the run. Automatic first down.
Very dangerous play because they stopped the runner's momentum, but the defender actually gets a boost on the play. I broke my ankle on a play. I wasn't going this fast, but it was just this kind of play. Watch him fall on him from behind. Get your ankle trapped. That's exactly how it happened.
Man, he got both of them trapped. I'm not even sure which one is the problem, but Brian Harrian, who's valuable, very valuable to this Georgia offense, is the man that's down. Brian Harrian zipped inside that Georgia observation injury tent. Marlon Davidson, meanwhile, on the sideline.
Looks like he re-hurt his back. See him getting a little massage there.
So both he and Harrian on that tackle, injured. Meanwhile, Georgia's at the 45-yard line of Auburn with a first down.
4 straight runs. You got the feeling the play-action pass is coming.
Zamir White is in the backfield. Will get the carry for a couple. And again, when you talk about the Georgia backfield, Harrian being a key part of it behind DeAndre Swift, as you take another look at that tackle by Davidson and an ugly landing by Brian Harrian. The good thing for Georgia is they do have depth at tailback, including Zamir White and James Cook. But this guy's really valuable. Of course, he had the touchdown right before halftime on the reception. So Zamir White's going to get a lot more snaps. And the guy they call Zeus is in there right now.
Yeah, and Brown and Davidson not in the game on a key drive. It feels like a field goal is going to be the end of it for Auburn.
There's the end around on the play fake. Kearis Jackson, good speed and a good first down run. They'll move the chains again. Well-designed play and run
Sure was.
beautifully.
And a great block off the edge that time by Andrew Thomas, number 71. He held his block for about 4 seconds on that reverse.
3rd down and 4, Georgia. Fromm finally set to throw one on this series. Completes it to Robertson. 1st down inside the 20.
Interesting. Robertson's coming across to pick on the play. There's no one to pick, so he just continues on. Watch. Pick. Nope. Okay, look for the ball. And he gets right through there. On that play, Christian Tutt actually ran into the umpire on the play.
And he was looking at him like, hey, nice block.
Exactly.
1st down, Georgia. 8 runs in that one pass.
And if you're James Coley, offensive coordinator right here, I'm sure Kirby is telling James Coley, we've got 3 in our pocket. Make sure that what you call does not lose 3 points.
1st down at the 15. Fromm throwing back shoulder. Oh my goodness, did he catch that? Kearis Jackson, touchdown Georgia. Wow.
Well, there was 2 defenders back there, Smoke Monday and Roger McCreary. Is he in? Oh, I don't think so.
Where's the ball at that point?
Yeah, but his toe was on the line.
Now here's a good look from Pylon Cam.
Watch his right toe. His left toe, rather. That's going to be out. Boy, those pylon cams see a lot of stuff.
The ruling on the field for the previous play is a catch for a touchdown. This play is now under video review.
Whatever the call, it was an unbelievable effort.
Yeah, it was.
And catch.
The other thought is, will the replay officials say his left foot was grazing the grass before it touched? Remember, it was called a catch. He would have to overturn it. So his left toe is kind of skidding across the grass before it firmly comes.
After video review, it's an incomplete pass. The receiver was able to control the ball in the air, but first stepped out of bounds. The ball will be placed back at the previous spot, the 15-yard line, where it'll be 2nd and 10.
It was close, but I think this is the right call. Well, we saw just see his toe just graze and then down.
So you kind of saw Kearis Jackson next to Jake Fromm nodding his head as if to say, well, let's just go get the next one.
It was well executed, I'll say that.
11th play of the drive coming up. Bulldogs 2nd down and 10. Auburn fans trying to give their defense some life to at least force a field goal. So we've only got 16 minutes of regulation left to play. Jake Fromm trying to be heard. DeAndre Swift has to get the last word from his quarterback. Auburn's going to bring the heat. Here they come. Fromm lofts it to the corner, and this one's knocked away. Nice play by Roger McCreary.
Well, you could see what the veteran Jake Fromm was doing there and why he's only been sacked
Player on the ground, number 1 of the defense. The penalties half the distance to the goal line, automatic 1st down.
So a huge penalty on Auburn just when they had Georgia at 3rd and 10. And that'll upset your stomach if you're the head coach.
Okay, big cat right in front
it
of
was
him.
the second
and then he
move.
throws on him, yes. Then he dives on it. He felt he was being held on the play by Charlie Werner, number 89, and he lost his cool.
1st and goal. DeAndre Swift. His spin move didn't work that time.
Smoke Monday. Smoked him. Holy cow. The sophomore playing behind Daniel Thomas and Jeremiah Dinson, the 2 seniors. He'll be playing safety next year. And watch, oh man.
DeAndre Swift just hit 100 yards on the day, and he hit Smoke Monday on a Saturday.
Holy cow.
No Sean Moreno, the last guy to have 2 straight 100 pluses against Auburn. 2nd and goal. Georgia 2 tight end set. Swift behind Fromm. Play action. Jake lofts it to the corner. Touchdown, Eli Wolf. much like the Florida completion that ended that game, this one ends in a touchdown.
Nice little design play this time. Eli Wolf is going to engage. Watch him engage and then fall out. Allows the receivers to get past him and then falls out into the play. A little bit like Harrien's touchdown, only from a different position.
Right. So 2 huge catches by that guy this year to end the Florida game and now to give Georgia a 3-touchdown lead. Rodrigo Blankenship for the point after. Up and perfect. And it's going to be a long climb back for the Tigers of Auburn with 13 seconds remaining in the third quarter. Georgia just capped an 88-yard drive in 13 plays with Jake Fromm's 3rd touchdown pass of the day. Almost the end of the third quarter, and Georgia with a commanding lead now of 21-0. Gary, when you've got 170 yards of total offense, which is what Auburn's at right now, this is going to be a struggle.
Yeah, and I really go back that they had a couple of opportunities. You don't have that many. The Bo Nix fumble and that ill-timed timeout by Gus to get one more 30 seconds in the half.
See if Jamie knows more on Harrien's injury.
Well, when Georgia gets the ball back, they will have running back Brian Harrien available to them. He was in the tent for a while. He had that left ankle taped back up, but he's making cuts on the sideline like he's ready to go.
Young ligaments. I'd still be in the tent on Wednesday, but Brian Harrien's going to be okay. That's good news. Bo Nix, 3 for his last 8 for 7 yards. He's got to warm up, or Auburn is going to fall to 7-3. Still a lot of football left, though. Whole quarter. Maybe got 2.
For many years of playing in Detroit, taking a knee at halftime or running a play into the middle at the end of the quarter is bad strategy.
And thus you heard a little bit of booing in the background.
Exactly.
That's the end of 3. Georgia's 15 minutes away from a date in the SEC championship game in almost their home turf of Atlanta. 21-0. We'll return to Auburn right after this message and a word from your local station. 15 minutes remaining in regulation from the Plains at Jordan-Hare Stadium in Auburn. And the Tigers in some trouble right now, trailing by 3 touchdowns. And a 2nd down and 9 from the 26 to open quarter number 3. Empty backfield for Bo Nix. Nix throws out in the flat, complete to Seth Williams. Another catch for him. And trying to fight for a first down. He might get there. I think he's going to.
Close.
So that's a good way to start the third quarter as we welcome you back to the booth. In the short-term picture here, Auburn's got 15 minutes to try to do something about it. And Georgia's side of things in the big picture,
they're looking pretty
good, right?
In the bigger picture than that, right now it hurts Oregon more than anyone. This blowout right here on the home field by this Georgia team. Remember, Auburn beat Oregon on a neutral field. The biggest picture is this is really good news for the SEC, keeping 2 teams alive in the argument.
And remember, Georgia came in and are right now ranked number 4, and they're certainly going to solidify their spot. A lot of people thought maybe that was too high for them coming into the college football rankings this week, but this is going to be a pretty big feather in their helmet if they hold on to this thing in a tough place to play on the road.
Well, speaking of holding on, they held Auburn in the third quarter to 25 yards total offense.
That's not going to cut it. Williams shaken up after fighting for extra yardage on that previous play. 2nd down and 7. Again, only a couple of deep balls attempted today.
And one was out of bounds when he threw it.
This is going to be short too, but it's going to be good enough for a first down to Will Hastings. Seth Williams, the leading receiver today, with 11 catches for 83 yards, and there's where he was shaken up. And looks like the left shoulder or arm as it kind of dangled as he came to the sideline. Auburn trying to hustle up here, but now they slow things down.
And Georgia playing very soft now. They're willing to concede these 5-8-yard passes in front of them right now, at least till they get to the 50-yard line.
And they're there now, but that's it to Schwartz right at the 50. Devon Wilson made the stop. Clock winding down to 12:45. Got to be some urgency here for Auburn. Eli Stove, the motion man, as the ball just shaded on the dog side of midfield. Nix, play fake, deep middle, got his man. And it's Shedrick Jackson. So they finally got a big play.
And I think that's exactly the type of play that Gus was trying to map out for Jamie at halftime. Those play action passes where they could get some chunks on the play is what he was looking for.
That was a 25-yard chunk there to the 25. And now Nick's trying to keep it himself, and he found a little avenue. Got about 9.
Yeah, and he's very smart when he runs the ball, too. You know, without having a backup quarterback of, any real stature, when he runs, he takes what he can get and then gets down, avoiding the big hits.
And as you said, that time he kept it in his dominant hand and tucked it high and tight. And now the first down run is Ruby Whitlow to the 15 and maybe close to the 14. So Auburn's finally got their offense in gear here. Their last time they scored, though, was last year against Georgia. It's been 86 minutes of football, and they're still not in the end zone.
And as everybody knows who follows Georgia, not one rushing touchdown allowed all year.
And Gus Malzahn said, we don't care about that stat. We're Auburn. We expect to score. They haven't seen anybody as balanced as us this year. They're not unbalanced yet, but it's getting a little bit better. Stove on the end around. Georgia reads it well, and he's not going to get anything.
Yeah, that Nakobe Dean is going to be a star. I'll tell you that right now.
2nd and 9 at the 13. Hastings moves over into the slot. Schwartz, the other slot man for Nix, as we're under 11 minutes, and Auburn's got to keep hustling here. As the fade to the corner, and it's almost intercepted. It's intended for J.J. Wilson, and Eric Stokes had a better play on the ball than the receiver did.
Well, I tell you, the receiver stumbled coming out after the ball was in the air. You can see it. J.J. just says never was able to get into the play. J.J. Walker, who actually played linebacker in the Pac-12, then H-back and now wide receiver, and has not been able to make a difference in this game.
Transferred from Arizona State. They expected him to maybe provide some big plays today. So far, not. 3rd and 9. 2-down territory. Nix throws a little bit low, and he couldn't keep his receiver running. Will Hastings makes the catch, but had to hit the turf to catch it. It's 4th down.
Well, Will Hastings, before he was injured, was on his way to being a dominant player in this league. You know, he and Jarrett Stidham really were in sync together, and it just seems the way Hastings runs his route, he needs a rhythm-type thrower with him.
Georgia is number 1 in the SEC and number 2 in the nation at scoring defense. They've pitched 3 shutouts this year already. They're trying to stop a 4th and 5 right here. Nix, slant, incomplete. The flag comes in on Stokes.
Yes, it is. Oh, yes. And that time the big body of J.J. Wilson paid
Pass interference. Number 27 of the defense. Penalty places the ball at the spot of the foul with automatic first down.
27 draped all over number 42. Yep. And it's 1st and goal, Auburn. The last rushing touchdown was in the Sugar Bowl in a game that a lot of people think Georgia wasn't all that interested in against Texas. So they were beaten last year in their bowl game, part of their 11-3 season. But right now they're trying to go to 9-1, and they're trying to keep Auburn out of the end zone. Nix, the throw out in the flat. It's still not a rushing touchdown, but it's an Auburn touchdown to Eli Stove. Tigers finally on the board.
Well, Eli Stove is lined up in the backfield on this. Comes into motion right there, goes across, and the Georgia defense cannot get there in time. A little bit of a pick. You see the pick on the other side of the play. I think it was Shedrick Jackson, number 11, that got the pick on the play, but the ball was already in the air, and he was at the line of scrimmage. That would not be called on that play.
So finally in the 4th quarter, 5 minutes into the 4th quarter, Bo Nix gets his team a 12-play, 75-yard drive. Took them 5 minutes, 9 seconds to get it, and they've only got 10 minutes to get 2 more. Anders Carlson's got it teed up. Brian Herrion and Zamir White are back deep, so Brian Herrion okay, as Jamie told us. He's on the left there, number 35. And it's an onside kick. It goes far enough. Who's got it?
What's better than a 3 and out?
That's better. James Moss.
Jay Crowder had a shot at it. Number 30, I thought. It's a perfectly placed. Oh, and look at that.
He's on top of it.
No, it was almost on top of the ball, and he missed it on the play.
There you see it slide under his right arm.
Yes.
And Auburn's got it back. Wow. Huge play.
Here we go.
Georgia was playing it as a regular kick. They had their guys back deep. And, it took Anders Carlson so long to tee that ball up. I had in my mind, boy, he's really working it here to put that baby down the way he wanted it. And he did it perfectly.
And just kind of like overshot it on the recovery by Georgia on the play. Now they're going to review to see if it was touched. Is that what they're going to do?
See if it was touched by somebody before 10 yards.
Yeah, before it went 10 yards.
Okay, so everybody's still out of the way there. I think he whiffed on it. I think he would have touched it.
Well, there's a touch.
There's a couple fingers, but...
All right, so let's go back to see. I think that's past the 10-yard line.
That's already passed. And then the possession comes under there someplace. Again, if it's touched by a couple of fingers, it would be right there, and it's already gone 12 yards.
Yep.
I think that was Eli Stove that got a hand on it. The wide receiver kind of pinned it, and then the mayhem ensued.
I don't know if it's reviewable whether Auburn was offside before the kick as well. I don't know if that's reviewable. Let's go back to see.
After video review, prior to the ball going 10 yards, number 5 of the kicking team illegally blocks his opponent. This is an illegal block, 5 yards to the kicking team. 5-yard penalty to be enforced from the 35-yard line, and we'll re-kick from the 30.
Okay, that we weren't looking for.
Anthony Schwartz is the fastest man in the field, and on this play, he was too fast.
Yeah.
Well, I did not have any idea, but watch Schwartz engage. The ball is not gone 10 yards, and that.
Gene Sterator's with us, Gene.
Didn't even know it was reviewable.
That is exactly right, and it is reviewable. A great job by replay. The ball is only 9 yards when that block occurs, and by rule, that is a foul. It's a really good job by the replay officials to get this one right, guys.
And the reason Anthony Schwartz is there is because he's fast. But watch him. I thought maybe he was offsides. No, but he's so fast, actually 3 yards in front of anybody, and he engages there. Ball's not 10 yards, and boy, we thought we were looking at everything. We were looking at fingernails and fingers and who recovered it.
And there's a wide receiver who's too quick for his own business right there. And so they have to re-kick it. They'll back it up to the 30.
And interesting, Georgia does not go onside kick return again, though.
Now they're expecting Auburn again to kick away. Let's see if they do. The last one, as far as the kicker, it was perfect for Carlson. This time he's going to whip it. And caught in the end zone, and Brian Herrion hesitates and then decides to bring it out, and probably shouldn't have, as he got out around the 19-yard line. He is some kind of finisher, I'll tell you. Second down and 8. Demetrius Robertson going to try that end around again. He's looking for a block, didn't get it. Nice play defensively by Javaris Davis again.
Yeah, I thought Nick Coe did a good job, too, on the edge, forcing him just a little wider. And then Thomas comes up and cleans it up. One of the things that This defense, especially Kevin Steele defense, has said those edge guys have to be able to make that running back go a little wider or just stutter a bit so that our safeties can make the play.
Third down and 9, I should say. This would be a big stop for the Tigers. Georgia 3 wide receivers and the tight end Werner down at the bottom of your screen. Jake Fromm. Here comes the heat. Jake's going to go deep and out of bounds. And George Pickens was going to be the intended receiver.
Jake could feel that pass rush. He knew he could not be sacked in this play. He had to get rid of it. He threw it out of bounds. Not a great pass. But I'll tell you, on that play, it went again. And number 23 just didn't keep it on the field with Pickens giving any chance for the catch.
Georgia's 7th 3 and out today. Wow. You name that, you go, they're ahead by 2 touchdowns. How's that work?
Well, this is going to get interesting now, because from now on, it's 4-down territory for Auburn.
And a whistle. And a false start on Georgia.
False start, 41 offense. 5-yard penalty, 4th down.
And another special teams penalty against Georgia.
Yeah, and for the first time maybe since early in the game, it feels like the crowd's back in the game.
Yep. But time is of the essence if you're an Auburn Tiger fan. It's 8:25, all that's left. Camarda, who's hit a couple of beauties today. This one's going to flutter down to the 30-yard line to Tutt. And Tutt gets about 12 on the return. So good field position again for Auburn. With 8 minutes, 11 seconds remaining in regulation. And they trail 21-7, but there is still hope out there. They got the stop they needed. Kirby Smart, Gus Malzahn, their teams in the 124th meeting, battling it out. Bonitz, his team trailing by 2 touchdowns down the middle of Seth Williams' favorite target. And it's down to the 35.
Well, I'll tell you, since Georgia has started playing zone defense and allowed a little space, it has not worked. They got to go back to man-to-man coverage.
Pick up a 24. And looking for more, the sidearmer out to Williams again. He broke a tackle. Seth Williams down to the 20. And another Auburn first down.
Oh, and Eric Stokes, if he doesn't grab the toe of Seth Williams, it's a touchdown. Comes out, blocked, but watch this. The last second he blows it. Maybe better than tackled, but it was in space.
Now it's out to Schwartz in the flat. And Schwartz is to the 10. Auburn's got it working here with 7.5 to go. Second down and a yard. At the 10-yard line. Stack receivers both ways, but the give is to Whitlow. Waits for his blocking. Got it down, first and goal.
The first down play was huge. This time, Prince Tagovailoa comes around the corner and just levels it. The left tackle comes around for the counter OT and opens it up.
Tigers at the Georgia 2. Nix keeps it, dives, touchdown Auburn.
Here we go. These games never end easy, do they?
Five minutes ago, it looked like this thing was over. It's far from.
It's a zone keep. He keeps it. He dives across. Was his knee down before he got across? Did not get a clean look on that one. They're going to take their time, the officials, before they spot the ball. They want
Forward put the ball through the plane of the goal line prior to any body part other than his hand or foot touching the ground. This play is now under video review.
I think the ball is already over the goal line when his left knee hits right about there.
Not yet.
Not yet.
I think right there he's it. Yep, that's a touchdown.
After video review, the ruling on the field of a touchdown is confirmed.
Well, we've seen a lot of interesting things in this stadium over the years.
That's for sure. Interesting is not even half of it.
Yes. So Even until there's 1 second to go in the game ain't over here.
That's right. Carlson in for an all-important point after. Up and good. Auburn takes 68 seconds to go 57 yards in 5 plays. Georgia gives up its first rushing touchdown of the season. And it was big plays to Seth Williams.
Yes, it was. Started out with the zone defense. Bo Nix hits the seam. Then an outside little quick screen that almost broke loose. Seth Williams again, and then Booby with the counter OT down to the goal line. And then you just run the zone keep, and Bo Nix shows why so many people recruited him. He can move.
First rushing touchdown allowed by Georgia, and it's a quarterback. 21-14. When things looked bleak, nobody left. And now Jordan Hare is rocking. 7 minutes, 3 seconds remaining in regulation. It's 21-14.
You know, we talked about how much Georgia defense substitutes, but the fact that you mentioned before that Auburn has 7 3-and-outs against Georgia means that their defense has only faced 56 plays. So they're fresh here for the end.
Carlson will kick deep, and Herring will let it go. Georgia will come out to the 25-yard line. Up. Here we go.
Well, nobody has faced more pressurized situations in college football than number 11 for Georgia.
Comes up to let his lineman know where everybody is. Fromm down the middle, and Eli Wolf, the intended receiver, it went out of his hands. Pretty good coverage by Jeremiah Denson.
Good protection. You know it's going to be man-to-man coverage. Good spot. Perfect throw. Drop ball.
Should have had it.
Absolutely. Tried to catch it with his chest instead of his hands that time.
Or in Wolf's case, pause. 2nd and 10, and with every snap, this place is going to get louder.
Absolutely.
Unless Jake Fromm can quiet him. Corner blitz. Fromm's going to keep it. No gain.
That was a great call by Kevin Steele. The corner blitz forced the give on the play. It was a zone read, but there's nothing he could do. Coming right at him off the slot. An aggressive defensive call. Coming right at his face when he's trying to run, and he had to keep it. He could not hand the ball off.
If Georgia doesn't get this first down, Auburn is going to force a punt. They're going to get the ball back, and they're only going to lose about a minute of time off the clock. 3rd and 10. They're coming again from late throw, incomplete, broken up by McCreary.
Well, McCreary was the story of the end of the first half, but in the second half, he has made some plays. Again, coming off the edge, Big Cat Bryant was coming in there, the ball was behind, and the official was not going to help out. Big Cat Bryant forces the kind of the spot throw, could not step into it, and McCreary was able to catch up to the throw.
McCreary looked like it might have been shaken up on the play as well, but Camarda now with a punt, and this one is not a very good one, although it's going to take a Georgia roll down around the 27 or 28-yard line. So there's only a minute and 4 seconds that came off the clock in the exchange. Here we go.
Auburn's got their heavy, both tackles to the one side of the field.
From the 28, Bo Nix fires complete. Schwartz. They wrap him up, but he gets 9 yards. DJ Daniel made the tackle. 2nd and short. They'll keep it on the ground to Whitlow, and he's got a big run out to the 45. Another Auburn first down.
I'll tell you, DJ Daniel was lucky he got a hand on his foot there, or Whitlow would be out for another 10 yards. The Georgia defense really reeling right now. They started out playing soft zone. It seems like they cannot get back in sync. And Bo Nix is feeling it.
He sure is. By himself in the backfield until Schwartz comes across. And across again. They fake it to him. Nix loads it and goes back to Schwartz on the sideline. And Schwartz gets up positive yardage again. Probably about 7 or 8 more.
Great awareness from Nix on that one. He's going to go downfield for the big play, but he knew he had Schwartz, who came in with the fake motion as a safety valve, and he went to him at the last second.
Gus Malzahn told us of Bo Nix, he doesn't think anymore, he reacts, and he's reacting perfectly right now. Pickup of 8. Look at what he's done this half. In Georgia territory. Drop ball on the snap. Still loose. And I think Whitlow got on top of it, although Georgia's saying they've got it. I don't know if Bo took his eye off that. It was a bad snap. And it's Auburn ball.
Yeah, it goes from 2nd and 2 now to 3rd and medium.
It was low.
Yeah, it was a little bit of a knuckleball, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And Whitlow kicked it forward about 3 times before he jumped on it. Got all 3 timeouts. What does he do if he doesn't pick this up? Do they give the ball back to Georgia?
3rd down and 5. Biggest play of the day so far. Again, the snap was a little off. Nix backpedals, throws, incomplete. Closest man was Hastings, but Richard LeCount was actually closer to the football.
And what do you do now? Good blocking that time, picking up the blitz by Booby Whitlow. Picks up the blitz. Whitlow does a nice job of giving Bo time, but nowhere really to throw. I told you the zone is done. Georgia's not going to play any more zone. 3 timeouts left, and he's going for it on 4th down here. I'm surprised.
3 out of 7 to this point of the season.
And he has.
Here we go. 4th and 5. Georgia just brings 4. Nix wanted to get rid of it in a hurry. Now he's going to run, and he's going to get it. First down.
This has shades of that Oregon game, the first game of the year, when Nix made those scrambles on that last drive. He was 4 for 6 and a couple big runs. He had that huge 4th down run against Oregon to get the first down before the throw to Seth Williams.
Auburn showed hurry up and then takes its time with a 2nd and 7. Nix deep on the sideline, back shoulder to Williams. Did he catch it? He did.
Well, DJ Daniel was on the coverage right there. Back shoulder. Can't tell if his toes were down there. Oh, yeah. He's going backwards. Was his heel on the line, but his left toe was on the ground.
The ruling on the previous play is a catch at the sideline for a 1st down. This play is now under video review.
I don't know if he was juggling it as well. There's like 2 or 3 things to look at here. Remember, going backwards, you have to get the full foot in. His right heel hits the line. And the ball, is it moving?
A little bit.
He still controls it. I'm wondering if the right heel is not going to be the call, though. This is so close.
It would be his 15th catch of the day if it's good. The heel was still a little bit airborne, but it's hard to tell at what point.
But his left foot down.
The toe of his, it looks like his toe and heel were touching about the same time.
Yes. Remember, it's called a catch on the field. That could be the overriding thing here.
Gene Steratore is with us. Gene.
This is really close, and you've hit on 2 of the elements that I'm really focusing on too, and that is if Williams possesses this football and his left foot is down before that right heel touches out of bounds, then he's basically got 1 foot in bounds before that 2nd foot comes out. It's the determination on possession there, and if the left foot is down prior to the right heel touching the white, and this is really, really tight.
Yeah, we're scraping the turf on this.
Is it enough to change?
After video review, it's an incomplete pass. The receiver was not yet controlling the ball when his foot first went out of bounds. Ball placed at the 39-yard line will be third down. For the game clock operator, please put 3-10 on the game clock.
To me, that's why you can't use it as a still frame. It's control. As Gene said, when you control the ball, the ruling was by the replay official that his right heel came down. It's not the toe.
He's running up and down that sideline to get his defense where he wants them. Where he wants it at the 39. 3rd and 7. Schwartz in motion. They've thrown to him out in the flat a couple times on this drive. Nix, quarterback draw. Going to be short. 4th down and 2.
Boy, and that play too, wide open. Anthony Schwartz coming underneath. Watch him come underneath, right in the middle of the field. He had it, but as Brad said, the quarterback was running with it.
Remember, they picked up a 4th and 5 earlier on this drive. Here's another one. 4th down and 2.
Going to do the quick huddle.
That huddle's only about 2 yards away from the line of scrimmage. Up they come. Nix is going to be under center. That's a rarity. He fakes it, bootleg, throws in the flat, in and out of the hands of Harold Joyner, incomplete.
Bad throw. He made all those great plays, and then he's got a layup and doesn't make the layup.
So they got 1 4th down. They didn't get that one. And depending on what Georgia can do on offense, that might seal it. But we still got 2:24 to watch.
Joyner comes sliding out right into the flat, right out there with the fake. He's got a layup to him. Behind him, and it's for a running back, a tough catch for a running back. Gets on him fast, it's behind him, and can't make the play.
Right over his shoulder.
Yep. Remember, 3 timeouts left. Kirby didn't defend it, but they didn't throw it, and you can see the frustration.
3rd and 5. Throws in the flat to DeAndre Swift. Can he make anybody miss? No. Not that time. Javaris Davis. How many open field tackles has that guy made today?
Yeah, but he had triangulation working here. He had help inside, and he knew that all he had to do was stay outside, and Tut was inside to help.
So Georgia's got to give it up again with 2:10 remaining, and Auburn is out of timeouts. And I'm betting right now that if there's a TV near, that Chamberlain Smith, the young female photographer from the Athletic Association of Georgia, is going, "Hey dogs, hold on." Injured right before halftime. She's from Ringgold, Georgia, and Chamberlain, again, we hope you're okay, and for your family and friends that are watching. Jamie?
It sounds like Chamberlain is at the hospital. She's awake. She's receiving tests. Her sister posted to social media that she appreciates all the prayers, and she is undergoing further evaluation.
Well, she did her job, right? We always hear the coach, do your job.
That's right. Everybody's trying to do that right now, including Camarda.
And how about this Auburn defense? That's their 9th 3-and-out in the football game to give them a chance.
Camarda, high-hanging kick is going to sail out of bounds. Let's see where they spot this thing.
It's coming up.
It's coming up past the 25 somewhere. First downs will stop the clock momentarily, and getting out of bounds will do likewise. We're under 2 minutes. Nix, there was a low snap from center. Again, he's in trouble. Got away from one man. 3 Georgia Bulldogs giving chase. He throws a completion. Nope, it's out of bounds. Booby Whitlow caught it, but he was out of bounds.
That was a big escape by Nix that time. Spins away from Olajari on the play, and watch the escape.
Almost got face masked. Turned around and hit Whitlow, but Whitlow's foot was out of bounds when he made the catch.
Again, 1 sack in the game, and that was from a blitz look. The front four for Georgia has not been able to come up with a sack in the game.
They try to create havoc plays is what Kirby Smart calls them, and they haven't had many. 3rd and 10. Nix over the middle, completes it. Nope, dropped it. Seth Williams had it in his hands, and it's 4th down.
Boy, that That secondary going to this ball when it was completed, they went right for the ball. And that's not going to count as a havoc play, but it should because LeCount and Stevenson just freed up that ball.
Actually, broken up passes do count.
Oh, do they really?
Yeah, they do.
Oh, wow, that was beautiful.
Tyreek Stevenson, Richard LeCount.
Here we go.
4th down. If Georgia stops this, it's ball game. Set to fire again, or will he? He's not going to get it off. He's sacked that time by Trayvon Walker. They finally get home, and their coach hits the turf in celebration on the sideline.
We kept waiting for that front four to make a play. This time they land up 3, but they stunted. Brought one linebacker on the play, and Walker finally gets there. 3 down linemen, but watch the stunt. At the end, from the outside, Adam Anderson comes in to make it 4, and then the sack from the backside.
Who figures that a freshman who's never even been to Jordan-Hare Stadium would end the game for Georgia?
And, oh, by the way, one of those big recruits, another 5-star true freshman to end it.
Jake Fromm will take a knee. Jake Fromm's about to be 3-1 in his career against the Auburn Tigers. And as the clock ticks down,
it'll be their 3rd consecutive trip to Atlanta.
How about that?
Yep. And they'll stay at number 4, too.
Bo Nix did everything he could. 30 out of 50 for 245 yards.
I know the one he'd like to have back. I know exactly what he's thinking.
Yep. He said to us, when you watch film, sometimes you watch too much and you can get too down on yourself.
There's always a play. I could have done this, I could have done that. Bo, don't worry about it. There'll be many more, but we all battle that one extra play we could have done. He was magnificent this second half, wasn't he?
He was. And there's the coach, and there's how happy he was. Kirby Smart.
Boy, it looked like it was going to be easy. End of the 3rd quarter, looks like it's going to be a cakewalk, and all of a sudden you're hanging on for dear life.
I got a feeling Chamberlain Smith's going to get a game ball from Georgia. She did her job. As Gary said, Georgia did its job. Big win as the Dogs hold on to win 21-14, and they are the SEC East champions again. And a 3rd straight trip to Atlanta to play for all the SEC marbles. So they got one more SEC obstacle in their way. That's next week, and there, Jake Fromm. That was probably his little brother.
It was, yep.
His brother plays here at Auburn. And a tough finish for Bo Nix, but what a gutty performance. There's how it looks. That'll do it from the East. And Georgia, the SEC East champion with the winning coach, is Jamie.
Coach, you took a tumble there when you celebrated. You feeling all right?
Feel great. Couldn't feel better.
What statement did your defense just make to end that game?
Well, we made a statement that we didn't stop them the last 2 or 3 drives. I mean, you got to finish teams off. Played really well early. We lost our composure and didn't finish the way we needed to.
Who stepped up for you today?
Well, Trayvon Walker made some big plays at the end. A lot of these young kids are starting to grow up. We got to continue to grow. We got to continue to get better. We got to make plays when we get a chance on offense.
They call this the oldest rivalry for a reason. What does it feel like to get this win at Auburn when it challenged you just a couple years ago here?
Look, guys, that team is a really good football team. And you're playing them at their place, one of the toughest places to play in the country. Got a lot of respect for their football team and a lot of respect for ours.
Congratulations, Coach.
Thank you.
Jake's right here. Give him a minute. How'd that one feel to play in?
Man, that's awesome. Praise God for the win. Man, our defense played great tonight, and their defense played really well too. So, very, very defensive-oriented game, and man, to come out and score more points, it's a blessing, and thank God we clinched the East.
They have some mammoth guys on that defensive line. What was it like to stare them down and try to get through them?
They're really big guys, and guys who they have a really high motor. I mean, they never kind of chill out for a couple plays. I mean, they're always coming, and they're relentless. That's what makes them so special. So to come into their place and take out a win is very special.
You've had to put up a couple fights this season, but you're headed to Atlanta now as the SEC East champs. How does that sound?
That's awesome. Praise praise God for that, to be able to do that 3 years in a row. Just shows just the hard work from this football team, football program, us in that locker room. We're ready to go to work and get better and finish this thing off.
Thanks, Jake.
Thank you.
Knowing Jake, he'll probably celebrate by going fishing tomorrow.
That's what I was going to say.
Well, those two guys are friends, and one just had enough plays in him today to beat the other.
And Bo Nix has grown the same way Jake Fromm grew. Don't you think from the first game to now, the same type of growth, and there's the Fromm boys.
Time now for the plays of the game, presented by Jersey Mike Subs. There were some dandies in it. One being this. The throw that missed to Joyner. That could have maybe been a touchdown if it was out in front. And then Georgia comes up with a true freshman making the play of the game on his first visit to Jordan-Hare Stadium. Finally, Georgia gets a sack at the end to celebrate with his coach, knock him on his rear end. And then the rest of the celebration continues for Georgia as they go to 9-1 and 6-1 in SEC play. And that's the most important part of the SEC East champions. Quite a thriller. Started with War Eagle. It's going to end with Go Dogs. 21-14 is the final from Jordan-Hare in Auburn, Alabama. For Gary Danielson and Jamie Erdahl, Brad Nessler saying so long from Auburn. 21-14. The Deep South's oldest rivalry gave us another dandy. The College Football Postgame Show presented by Rocket Mortgage is up next after these messages. So long from the Plains.